Launching something new into the world can be really, really exciting, but also super, super terrifying. And maybe like you have no clue what you're doing, but you know you've got to get it done. And that is why we're going live today. I have a very special guest, and we are basically going to break down some of the things that go into launches and talk about launches. So whether you're brand new or you're seasoned, we're going to be diving into it and giving you some tips. There's so much to consider, whether it's emails or social media, or if, having affiliates for your launch, or creating an amazing sales page, or troubleshooting when things aren't exactly going your way. That's what we're here to talk about. And I'm going to be bringing on a very special guest, Kate Scott, who is the creative director of Launch Out Loud. It's this fun, fresh, fabulous template shop that caters to online course creators. And like I said, we are going to talk about launching. And this is specifically in honor of her summit, Launch Out Loud, that I'm speaking at. Which goes through so much launching, all things launching. There's a ton of great speakers. I'm specifically talking about how to launch with live videos and going through 5 specific videos you can use during your launch. So let me bring Kate up and say, hey, Kate.
Hey.
It's so good to have you here. Did I miss anything in your intro?
No, that was fantastic.
Awesome. So let's dive right in, because I know that you must have run some maybe awesome launches, maybe some flop launches, maybe some in the middle. So tell us, let's start off, like, what's been like a great launch that maybe you could recall, and tell us a little bit about and celebrate.
It's interesting because I think that launching has changed so much over the last few years. I've been a course creator since 2021. And I think most online course creators would agree that the climate in which we are launching now is very different than it used to be. It used to be that, if you had a small audience that was really engaged, you could send out a series of emails and just, make a bunch of sales. And it was really easy to convert people. And that's not the case anymore. People have gotten a lot less trustful of online course creators because we went through that phase in the early 2020s where, there was all these crappy courses coming out and people were kind of scamming other people, and it wasn't a great experience for a lot of people. And so I think that really damaged the trust that people have in course creators. And it's also affected the customer journey. So it's not that people just discover you and then they're ready to purchase a week later now. You have to go through a much longer process of priming people and getting to know them and getting them ready to be at the point where they're ready to sign up for your course. And so we've changed our launch strategy a lot in the last year or so to kind of accommodate those shifts in the market. And one of the big things, so actually our most successful launch was our most recent one, which was just last month. And it's interesting because I think it's so much more difficult to make sales now, but if you have the right strategies in place, you can still have an incredible launch. And this was our biggest launch ever. So one of the main things that we've changed in our approach to launching is really emphasizing the power of community and referrals. And so I call our last 2 launches affiliate launches, because affiliates and people in our community have really played a critical role in our whole launch strategy.
That's amazing. And I love that you said that. And it goes right into this, like, the trust recession we're in right now. But if you've got those people who have been there and done that and other people already trust, like, you're just like kind of leaps ahead. So
Yeah.
What are you doing with your, like, affiliate strategy? Like, what does that look like? Because I know that a lot of people are asking other people to be affiliates, but why do you think so many people are jumping on board to be affiliates for what you're doing?
Well, it's interesting because I actually wouldn't say that it's easy to get people to jump on board. In fact, we've learned a lot from our fall launch to what we did in our spring launch to kind of improve the results. So the first time we did an affiliate launch, what we did is we recruited about 30 people from our community who have very similar, what I would call like mirror audiences. So very similar audiences to what we're trying to sell to. We actively recruited them to participate in this launch. So it's not just that they're part of our affiliate program. We were going after specific people that we thought would be a good fit. We recruited them to join, and then we gave them a bunch of incentives, right? So we had a leads contest. If you refer so many leads to the free, launch kickoff event, which in our case was a masterclass, you get to win prizes. And then on top of that, you also earn affiliate commissions for any sales referred. Now, despite that, despite all those incentives and really actively trying to engage those people who we knew very well, like these were all people inside of our community, it was very hard to get them to do any promo. Only about, I'd say less than half did actually any active promo during the launch. And so you really have to think about the psychology of why people are participating and whether they feel obligated to promote and all of that stuff and what the incentives are. And despite that, it was, I would say, a successful launch. It was definitely better than our previous launches. But the second time around, we got a little bit more intentional with the people we were choosing because there's a lot of work that goes into setting up all of the tech for an affiliate launch, right? So the more people you have in that launch, the more work it is. So you want to make sure that you're getting a good ROI for your time by choosing the right people. So we got a little bit choosier. We had almost the same number, but it was a different mix of people. We had all of the same incentives and stuff, but we did have better performance overall. Still, about half of people did not do any promo, but the ones that did were like champion affiliates and they brought in a lot more sales. So it's really about being intentional about the people that you're choosing. And also you have to just account for the fact that no matter how good a mix of people you have, probably about half are not going to actually end up participating. So make sure that you have enough of a good mix that even without that 50% just lopped off the top, you have enough to get the results that you're looking for.
Gotcha. And were the people who were in this affiliate group, were these people that you've known for a long time, or were most of these cold?
Most of them were people that we've known for a long time. The more you have a relationship with someone before you begin, the better the results are going to be. We didn't know everyone personally, but the niche that I'm in is a very small community anyway, so we all know each other's names and we're all aware of each other. That helps a lot. If you're just going to people cold, the chances of actually getting them to participate are very low.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely saw that like with my own like affiliate stuff. Like it's almost like you have to prove yourself a little bit to these people who even though you've given them all the information, so that they see like, all right, the sales pages look really good. Like the host is really going to go all out in promoting themselves, and like people are actually going to convert. And like once they have that proof, like running it again and doing more and more launches, I think it's easier and easier to get those people to promote. I don't know how many repeat people you had as well, but I assume you said it's a small community.
Yeah, it's a small community, so we had quite a few repeats, but
Yeah.
some of the new people that we recruited were some of our top affiliates as well. And I
That's
also
awesome.
think it's important to realize that, you may have some affiliates with very small audiences.
Mhm.
Those can be your most powerful allies because they have oftentimes really engaged audiences. And a small engaged audience is much better than a large disengaged audience.
Yes, for sure. And so with all this like launch experience, can you tell us about maybe some of like the big flops that like you've maybe experienced, or the things that you're like, oh, in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that or shouldn't have gone that route? Like, maybe some of the lessons is a better way to phrase it.
Yeah, I think our biggest launch flops were when we simply relied on our own email list. We didn't do a lot of email list growth beforehand, where we didn't do a live event. That's a key driver, especially, and it depends because, everybody has different strengths, right? And public speaking for me, when I get on a webinar, I'm very good at selling. I'm very comfortable with selling. So that's a good outlet for me. It may be different for you. Maybe you want to run a free challenge or something that's a little bit different. Really lean into your strengths, I think, because that's going to make a big difference in the energy that you're able to bring to the table with any launch. But I think one of the big things that I've taken away from all of this, because I didn't used to do a lot of pre-launch prep. I didn't used to do a lot of our own list growth. And so the first affiliate launch that we had last fall, we didn't do a lot of our own list growth. We just relied on affiliates.
Mm.
And the second time around, we did both. And here's the interesting thing. So, one of our approaches to list growth the second time around was to do it in a community oriented way as well. So, we actually created a new lead magnet in partnership with 21 other people in our niche. So, I created a report on the topic that I teach about, and I brought in experts from our community to contribute to that. They're more likely to promote that because they've participated in it. It's good press for them. And so that was a way to grow our list that was much more powerful than just like releasing our own lead magnet that we just created and then like, hey, here it is,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that you did that, and I love that you, like, actually made everybody feel really included in it versus
Yeah.
just, like, sending out to your affiliates, "Hey, I've got this lead magnet," and I just think that's that's so awesome that you're doing these, like, innovative things. Did you think of that? How did you come up with that?
It just kind of popped into my head. I was like, how can we do this in a way that actually gets more people on the list? Because if I just send it
Mhm,
out to my own list, well, we're going to get a bunch of people signing up for it that are already on my list. That's not going to work too well.
mhm.
So it just kind of made sense at the time.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I know from doing my own launches, and I actually started in 2020, so not too ahead of you, but, like, I remember the anxiety of having that first launch, and I didn't do any of the prep, I didn't do any of the things you were supposed to do, like, I was literally just winging it, but I know the emotions that come with it where you have these, like, crazy high highs, these super low lows, and when you're starting or even like more seasoned, like sometimes it's tough to have those strategies to manage the emotional side.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what do you do during launch week? Like what are your strategies for like putting boundaries in place or like making sure your head's in the right space?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I just kind of let myself go on the roller coaster ride. That's what it is. And it for a week and a half, which is how long my launches are, I'm just gonna let myself ride the wave because it is overwhelming and it is emotional.
Mhm.
But I'll tell you one thing that really helps me is that we have a strategy in place to make as many sales as possible early in the launch. And so what we do is we have, the live masterclass to get people really excited. We offer a fast action discount and a really juicy bonus. It's actually kind of a little bit of a one-on-one offer that I offer to people. And that makes it so that like in our fall launch, I think 91% of people purchased in the first 36 hours when that was available. In our most recent launch, it was 80%. That really helps because yes, you're going to go through the dry spell in the middle of the launch where you're not getting as many sales, but it really helps when like I already have this much in the bank. So I already know it's been successful and
Mhm.
anything else from this point on is just a bonus. That helps me to cope with those emotions a little bit more and so I am all for just trying to get as many sales in the door as quickly as possible. And then the last day is fun cuz it's like a little, party as people sign up at the last minute.
Yeah, and what I love about what you said is like, okay, you're riding the roller coaster, but you just told me like so many stats about like how people are buying and when people are buying and you know that stuff now. So I think also that key is like be detached and then just like go and collect the data because in the next launch you're going to be like, well, I know this and this and this is how generally my audience operates. So I can kind of chill a little bit. Like I'm feeling the emotions, but also like I know how this works too, which I think at least for me has been like a powerful thing where I used to have the mid launch meltdown. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's a term, but it should be a term.
Generally.
And now it's like I'm like, no, like I know this is how it goes, and I rely on that, that data coming in to kick in for me.
Yeah, it really helps. And at the end of each launch, I do a whole debrief. I write down all my
Mhm.
stats. I measure all of that stuff, and it does make it less anxiety producing the more
Yeah,
you do it.
yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about your summit because we're about to have like 3 days where all we're going to talk about is launching like so many different things. There's so many great speakers. So, Kate, do you want to tell us about the Launch Out Loud summit that's upcoming?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I wanted to put together an event for online course creators that brought together some of the best experts in the industry, basically to just help you with, launch strategy and everything that goes with that in 2025. Because the truth is that launching has gotten a little bit more stressful and a little bit harder, and you have to have your strategies more dialed in order for it to work properly. And so we've got an amazing group of experts. We've got Gemma Bonham Carter, we've got Kate McKibben from Hello Funnels. We've got all these fantastic experts who are going to be coming in and speaking on loads of different topics related to launching, course creation, even some of the basics like, what you need to know about trademarking with courses and what you need to know about accessibility and how to make your course better. We've got Nadine Nethery, who's going to be talking about creating an amazing student experience. And I actually, when she submitted her presentation, that was right before my launch. And I actually implemented one of her trainings immediately with that launch, and it had great results. So yeah, there's all sorts of amazing presentations that are going to be given. We've got 36 talks over the course of 3 days. It's going to be fantastic.
It's so good. And I pulled up the sales page. Like, guys, I'm like, I've like marked my calendar for a couple of these because they're more than a couple. They're so good. There's 3 days of these speakers, just like Kate said, and so much goodness. And I would 100% sign up and grab a ticket. What day does it start again? Is it next
It
week?
starts on April 30th. It's going to run from
Okay.
April 30th to May 2nd. And if you don't have time there, for each day, all the presentations will be live for 24 hours. If you don't have time to watch the presentations that you want to watch during that time, we do have a lifetime access pass. It's pretty affordable. It's $47. You get access to all of them forever. So
Yeah.
it's a good deal.
I love it. Well, go sign up. There's a free ticket info below in the description of this video. But otherwise, thank you so much, Kate, for joining us today, for putting together this awesome summit. I'm seriously so excited for it. And for everybody who watched today, drop some love for Kate in the comments, and hopefully we will see you at the summit. And thanks so much, Kate, for your time today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Alex.